Hey guys, it's Hannah with the HR Partner, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can use HR checklists within the system. So this is really great if you want to do things like help with employee onboarding by using checklists. You can also use them for termination checklists, training checklists, health and safety checklists, and a lot more. You can also use one checklist for multiple employees if you'd like. So if you have just a general template, you can use it for multiple employees, and you can even assign multiple checklists to employees at a time. So the basic way this works is that you're going to have what are called checklist templates, and within each checklist template, you're going to have checklist items. You'll be able to add or remove items as needed. So to get started, click Checklist on the left menu, go to Configure, and then Templates. Now we have a few in the system already by default, so I just want to go ahead and show you some of the ones we already have in the system, and you can also create new templates whenever you'd like. All right, so this is a basic onboarding template, and as you're creating templates or editing templates, what you want to keep in mind is that this will go ahead and send out automatic reminders for you, and you can choose the amount of days. And this is really super handy in the sense that before this, people would use things like spreadsheets or paper files to keep track of all this stuff, and then they'd have to go chase the employees down who didn't complete the steps, and that's no longer. With HR Partner, you can actually ask the system to send out automatic reminders to employees that haven't completed their checklist. You don't have to do anything else on your part. So the default in the system is that if an employee hasn't finished their checklist within 7 days, automatic reminders will go out for every day that they're late. And if you want, you can change this number. You could say, okay, I want to give the employee 14 days to complete this checklist. This is also an important part of the template, and by default we have it set so that if you're a manager or an admin, you're able to get an email notification once an employee has completed their whole checklist, and that way you can go and review it. Okay, so these are the different checklist items in the template, and let's say I want to get rid of one step. I can easily do that if I want. So I'm going to get rid of this one that says read company handbook and procedures. Okay, so let's say you want to add a new checklist item to a template. That's super easy. I'll show you how to do that. Just go to Checklist, Configure, Checklist Items. Click Add Checklist Item. Now let's say I want my employees to upload a completed health and safety agreement as part of the checklist. I can easily do that right here. And there are different checklist item types. The standard one is just your basic checklist item that's plain text, and you can also add the ability for file upload by checking this box. You can also link to an external site as a checklist item. So say you have a video or a training on another website that you want to link to, you can easily do that by adding the URL after clicking link to external site. Or you can also give your employees the option to download a library document as part of a checklist item. And that just basically means if you've uploaded a company-wide document to the HR Partner library here on the left-hand menu, then employees will be able to automatically see that document as a part of the checklist item. So for this particular item, which is I want people to upload a completed health and safety agreement, I'm going to say that's a standard checklist item. And I'm going to require a file to be uploaded because I want them to upload the completed paperwork. Click Save. And now I'm going to add another checklist item just to show you guys how another type works. So I'm going to say read company welcome handbook. So now this checklist item is going to say read company welcome handbook. So I'm just going to link to a handbook that's in our company library, and that way employees will be able to see it right away, read it, and then check it off. So I'm going to select download a library document, and you can find a list of documents here, and so I select company handbook. And again, if you haven't uploaded company-wide documents, all you have to do is go to this menu on the left, and under News and Polls there's a little tab that says Library, and that's where you can upload files. All right, and it looks like I'm done with this part, so click Save. Now if I go back to my onboarding template by clicking Edit, I'll be able to see those new checklist items that were just added. Right, so I'll just drag them over here to the active column. All right, so there's one other thing that's really important to keep in mind, because this will probably be very useful to you, and that you can create checklist items for the employees and also for admin users. So this is really handy in the sense that if you have an item that you don't want to be visible to an employee, but it's still important for you to check off, then you can definitely make that happen. So as an example, you could add in the onboarding template a checklist item that says something like set up employee computer login, and you can make that visible to only admins. And that way the employee won't see it, but you'll still be able to make sure that everything's in place and that it's done for the employee. So to do that, I'll show you a quick example. You're just going to want to add a new checklist item. And I'm going to call this set up employee computer access. I'm going to make sure it's a standard check item, and I'm not going to be uploading any files. And so where it says employee must check off this item, I'm going to want to uncheck that because I don't want the employee to see this step. And where it says company admin must check off this item, I'm going to keep that checked. Make this item visible to the employee. I'm going to uncheck it because I don't want them to see it. So there might be some situations where you still want it visible to the employee, but you don't want them to be able to check it off. But in this situation, they don't need to actually see the steps. So I'm going to uncheck both of those boxes and then just hit save. Now, if I go back to templates, I'm going to add this to the onboarding template. I'm going to drag this over to the active column. And as you can see, there's an orange check mark, and this means that only admins will be able to see it. So if you scroll up, there's a little legend, and you can see which items are visible to the employee and which ones are visible to admins, and which ones employees can check off and which ones they can't. So everything looks good. I'm going to click save. So the next step is then to assign this template to an employee. So I'm going to go over to checklist and then assigned. And then I'm going to click assign checklist to employee. And here I'll select the checklist template I want to use and then select the employee it'll be sent out to. So here's where you can assign the template to as many employees as you like. So if you have 5 employees starting in the same week, you can select all their names here. But in this example, I'm just going to select this one employee. And under message, this is where you type the message that'll be sent out to them via email along with the checklist items. So after you're done typing your email message, you click assign. And once you click assign, an email is going to be sent out to that employee with instructions. All right, so now I'll be able to see that this checklist has been assigned to Melissa, and I'll also be able to see the progress. So for one of the checklist items for the health and safety completion form, I wanted to make sure that I upload that form for Melissa for her to download and complete and then re-upload to HR Partner. So I'm going to click update on the right. And now where it says upload completed health and safety agreement, I want to be able to give Melissa this document so that she can complete the uploaded version. So I'm going to click this box that says drop files, and I'm going to select that health and safety agreement for her to download. All right, once I've uploaded the file, I'm just going to click back to employee checklists. And now everything's all ready for Melissa. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like from the employee side. So I'll show you what Melissa would see after logging in. All right, so when the employee Melissa signs on, what she'll see immediately is her active checklist right here. And again, you can assign multiple checklists to an employee, but she only has one right now, so I'm going to go ahead and click this. And as you can see, she can actually see this health and safety document that I've uploaded right here, and she can view and download the document by clicking on it. After Melissa's downloaded the document and is ready to re-upload the completed version, she can do so by clicking drop files and then selecting her document Once the document's been uploaded, you'll be able to see it right down here. And once she's done, she can just click back to employee checklist and it'll also automatically save, so either one works. And now I'll log back in as the company admin and I'll show you what this looks like from the admin side of things. So if I click update, I'll be able to see all the items that she's checked off, and those will be in the gray check boxes. And the ones that are open are the ones that are ready for me to check off and confirm. And as you can see, I can view her completed health and safety agreement right here, and I can just click it to view and download. And you can also see that there are some items I added for myself that weren't visible to the employee. And I'm going to go ahead and check all of my items off because I'm finished with everything. And as you can see, we have the item that we added earlier here about set up employee computer access, which is only visible to me, so I'll check that off. All right, now I'm going to click back to employee checklist. All right, and now Melissa's checklist is marked as complete, and her progress is 100%. So that just about wraps up how checklists work, and if you'd like to create your own new checklist, you can just go to Configure and then Templates. Say add checklist template, and you can create an all new checklist template. So this is great for things like training. It's not just used for onboarding, although that's a really great use case. You can pretty much create checklists for anything you could possibly think of. So it's just really great for keeping organized and making sure that you and your employees are on top of deadlines. All right, well, I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you, and we would love to know how you're using checklists, so let us know how it goes, and if you have any questions, you can chat with us anytime with live chat in-app right here in the bottom right-hand corner. Just click that to chat with us, or you can shoot us an email anytime at support@hrpartner.io.